Project 3 is going to give us the opportunity to discuss, to study, and to practice the type of brief communications that are so prevalent and common in professional settings. And they're actually very common in the daily life of an adult. And so we are going to be practicing writing a memo and writing an adjustment letter, really a denial letter. And these are distinct. They're not going to be related, other than the fact that each is kind of responding to an awkward situation. Each will be conveying a type of negative news. And so the way to do that in a way that is personable, that is human, the last thing somebody wants to hear or wants to receive, whether it's a customer or whether it's a colleague, when receiving negative news, is to have that news conveyed in a generic, robotic, form letter-like memo or letter that is completely devoid of human empathy or understanding or personality, right? And so we are going to be studying how to use an indirect method. This indirect method is going to be discussed in our textbook readings and also in a great video in our learning materials. That indirect method is an opportunity to establish empathy, to express empathy and understanding, and to connect with your intended audience on a human level. And so that is one of the reasons why I continue to emphasize this no AI sounding content, much less AI generated content, should be submitted for these projects. And so if you go down here, again, we're going to be writing a memo and an adjustment letter. And on the surface, these are very different letters or different genres, different types of writing. But again, they're going to be situations where we're going to practice conveying negative news in a way that first retains good relations with our colleagues and also retains good relations with the customer. And so the first one is going to be a memo, and you can pick either of these scenarios. Okay, you're telling your colleagues or your employees that there are going to be some cuts due to economic challenges. That's never fun. But also, this second choice is a play on the Coldplay concert that went viral, where they had the kiss cam on the couple that was having an affair. So how do you respond to that? So you can choose either one of these, and again, have fun with them. You're going to be personable, you're going to be professional, but it doesn't have to be dry and still be professional. The second one is going to be, they call it an adjustment letter. I think that's a little bit confusing, a little bit misleading. You're going to be writing a response letter to a customer who has reached out to the company asking for a refund or some kind of compensation for a product that they purchased that they used inappropriately in an unsafe manner. And it gives you the example here that somebody ate a Tide Pod, and so they're writing to Tide, complaining about that. And so the tricky thing here is you're writing this to the customer. They are going to be your intended audience. I am not your intended audience, and yet I am the one that's going to be eavesdropping on your letter and kind of assessing how well you have done, how well you have communicated. And so I am not going to know the situation, and this is proper even if the customer does know the situation. In the letter, you need to respond by acknowledging their request in a way that explains the situation or the scenario, so both the customer can be reminded of it and I can be informed of it. So because I need to know of that scenario. And so you're going to write this, and you're going to again write this denying their request. All right, you cannot honor their request for compensation. And this is key right here. The letter should provide the customer with the logical and evidence-based reasons for the denial. You're not just going to say, no, sorry, try again later. You're going to give them reasons for that denial and evidence for that denial in a way that retains their loyalty, retains their appreciation for the customer or for the company and the product, The last thing you want to do is cut ties and burn bridges here. And so the type of evidence is going to be logic. It's also going to be in maybe come in the form of warranties, policies, little notes on, time of purchase, notes, anything that you can use that will help them understand that, sorry, this cannot happen. This compensation is not going to happen. And so look over here at the requirements and the grading criteria. Let me know if you have any question on either of these writing situations.